So I watched that new The Craft movie, The Legacy, I think they subtitled it. Don't ask me why, but actually I do know why, because that's Hollywood's way to sucker you in. Like, oh, I remember The Craft, that movie from the 90s. Now there's a new one, or like a new origin story, whatever the heck. And I'm not so much commenting on the movie as it watching that scene that made me think of particularly growing up in the 90s, music in the 90s, and so death metal, black metal in the 90s, and then that correlating to then the Satanic Panic. And I guess Hollywood succeeded because, like, you know, thinking about like a movie then, so The Craft in this case, that came out in the 90s. Well, for one, I was like kind of thinking, it's like, that worked in a way where it's like, because it's like, I guess you would call it a horror movie, but like, at the end of the day, like, nothing happens. Like, there's nothing scary about it. So it's just kind of about like spells and witches and stuff. And so that would make sense then during the Satanic Panic, because then that was like the mood of the era, you know? And so it just started to make me think that like death metal, black metal in the modern age, you know, that we're in currently, 2025, like it, in a way it lost something, because then like the whole mood of humanity is different. Like, you wouldn't really shock your mom, your grandma, whatever, as much with a black metal t-shirt now as then it would be like, oh my God, you know, because I don't really have any particular memories to cite right now, but I know it was like less lenient. Okay, because like, you know, being a kid then in the metal, like, I remember like when you first grow your hair, like, you know, grandma had something to say to mom about that, like, oh my God, and it's just like, so like that's kind of the mood, the change, like, because nobody would give a fuck now, you know, so that in a way, like the mood of humanity's changed, and then the mood of humanity changing again, because then, remember Bob Larson? So like that Bob Larson was like this religious guy, like televangelist, I guess would be his title. He's on TV nonetheless, and Glenn Benton, I guess, would call up and like fuck with him, you know. So you know, Bob's like sitting there thinking like Glenn's like the, you know, the birth of the Antichrist, and I think Glenn was like using that to his advantage because he thought it was hilarious, you know, kind of thing, and fucks with them in that regard. Like, would that really happen today? Like, obviously, yeah, there's probably still like really, really crazy religious people, but like, and that's weird too, I guess, looking back as a, you know, a nearly 40-year-old man to then like being like, I would have been like, you know, 13 in 1999. I was born in 1986, so insert whatever year of the 90s that I would have been such age. The point I'm trying to make is your perception is going to be that of like, you know, 5, 13, you know, those ages. So like, I don't think my perception is just off, that like, I do think people are a little bit like, well, hence the period, Satanic Panic. Like, they're panicking about like easier shit. So like, DSI was a little bit more fun to listen to back then. It isn't just like, oh, they made that one Incinerate Him record, that wasn't just good for the, you know, I don't know, they were trying to get out of their Roadrunner contract or something. Like, I think the mood eventually kind of changed. So like, therefore, like your perception of certain records kind of changed. Similarly with like black metal, then you're like, nobody's burning churches anymore. Like, it's kind of, it's like, it's not as daring anymore, you know? Especially too when it's like, you know, Satanic Panic then. So it makes me think of the West Memphis 3. West Memphis 3 guys that are basically wrongfully accused of murder went to jail, for those that didn't know. And they were in jail for a long time. So like, now they're out. Because basically listening to metal music was how they tied them, you know, and other stuff, wearing black. Because then goth too, Satanic Panic, you know, wearing black, like, it was easy to fucking get people, like, so they used that to convict these guys. Because then now they're out of jail. So, for one, it makes me think of like Damien Enkles in like, you know, Deceased did that song Victims of the Master Plan. I guess that might have been King Folly's point, of like using that against them. So to any degree, like now Damien Echols is out of jail. So like, even if, you're experiencing the Satanic Panic, I guess in that example, on a different end, where like you hear about these guys that were in jail or whatever, and like they're the metal guys that are in that, like even the satanic, the worshipers and the satanic-esque people, so to speak, like they don't even look as fitting the bill as, it would be like, the point I'm trying to get is like Damien Echols is out and he has a YouTube channel. So like if you looked at like Anton LaVey, who's not alive anymore, like he doesn't have a YouTube channel. That if he did, like it would kind of lose some of the mystique around Satanism and the fun, I guess, or the darkness, whatever. If fun's not your choice. So that it's just like it changed a lot, and it kind of is bad. like shit. It's just it's almost like just that. It's not as fun anymore, kind of thing. Or at least I'm suggesting that it definitely skews, I don't think just me, like other, well, there you go, question of the day, like, if what I'm saying makes any sense, like, what do you think? Do you agree? Like, it kind of, like, makes it lose, like, it's not as fun as it was then. Maybe you're too young to remember, and you're looking for insight, and a story like this helps you gain it, and it's just interesting. Maybe you don't give a shit at all. That's all fine. Let it be known in the comments, because I'm going to use this opportunity to remind you that if you enjoy this crap, do you know that there's hours, years, that if you put all these hours together of your life, that you could be entertained with really old HELLCAST episodes? The show went on for like a decade, so, that's not how long the period would be if you put all the episodes on play. But you wouldn't really be able to put those episodes on play because you can't get them. The internet said that the internet, it was a technological panic these days, and they kicked HELLCAST off the internet for the most part. So you got to go to HELLCASTmetalpodcast.bandcamp.com. The link is in the description, as the cool kids say. And there you can listen to those episodes. And while you're there, you should throw a bone, $1, $10, $1 every episode you listen to, or you could be a cheapskate and listen to it for free. But, that doesn't help your homeboy out here, so there you go. Leave a video with a sales pitch, because if you don't know who Adam is, well, then you haven't been watching this channel enough. So find out who Adam is by watching his videos, because Adam yelled at me, so blame it on him if you don't like these plugs. So there's the HELLCAST plug, Crucify Mortals. Listen to it. Another old thing. That's in the link in the description. And then Reaper Metal Productions, where you can buy shit. And Sean, True Cult Coffee, I don't think I got my coffee yet. So send me free coffee and go to True Cult Coffee and subscribe to get your metal-based coffee subscription. I think I got it all out of the way. If you want to be a plugger, a pluggee, a person with product, I love getting free shit. So hit me up in the DMs. If you want guitar lessons, hit me up in the DMs. Direct message? I thought it would be like inbox, but whatever. Get a hold of me somehow. I don't like these lingos. But more on that later, because I'll talk to you next time.